On August 4th and 5th, 2020, Zegino will be participating in the fourth Advanced R&D Procurement and Sourcing Summit, which is now entirely virtual. On day one, August 4th, Zegino CEO Florian Wegener will be hosting a session entitled How Zegino, the leading SaaS-enabled marketplace, benefits life science researchers, purchasers, and suppliers. You were trained and practiced as a cardiologist in Germany before moving into consulting and then heading global e-commerce at QIAGEN prior to co-founding Zegino. How did this shape your approach to the life science industry?
Zegino is clearly one of the biggest challenges I've ever tackled in my life, and I'm actually extremely happy that I can build on the experience that I gained working with QIAGEN and working as a medical doctor, as well as working with the Boston Consulting Group in big pharma and biotech. And having said that, my perspective on what the needs are for researchers in their labs, but also for purchasers in big pharma, in biotech, has completely changed over the course of the last 10 years. I'm learning on a daily basis. I'm learning from our customers what their needs are. And in fact, it's fascinating how our industry, the life science research industry, can be enabled by doing all of those digital and running those digital initiatives to make our customers stronger.
Now, time is a key commodity in scientific research. You know this from your own work. Not only to be first in the market with a new drug, but also to reduce the scientific milestones that lead up to a completed drug or vaccine. And this has certainly been amplified during the recent pandemic. What are your thoughts on this, not only from the standpoint of being a medical doctor, but also now being an enabler for those lab scientists?
Yeah, clearly COVID-19 has taught a broader audience that time to market matters, probably more than ever. And it is such an honor for us as Zegino to enable biopharma companies to run their experiments faster and to reduce what we call reducing time to milestone. Having said that, while the COVID situation is obviously horrible, it has actually led to a few, I would say, major trends that I think will not disappear after COVID-19. So one, there's a clear need for securing the supply chain, and we as Zegino can play a crucial role here. Second, it's all about safety for employees and customers. And again, technology like Zegino enables people to now order from mobile devices on the weekend before they enter the labs on a Monday morning. And that's exciting, even in such a horrible pandemic. And it's something that we will learn from, and that will shape technology and life science research for the next decades.
In the time since this event, the R&D sourcing and procurement in pharma community has been established through this event. They've witnessed the growth of the e-marketplace to enable scientists to access innovation and equipment right at their fingertips, like consumers do. But also as a savings to the administrative burden. And so to this, can you speak more about Zegino's ethos, its culture, its mission, and how, from a product standpoint, from a solutions perspective, it differentiates?
Yeah, we are a software company, and our solution is a software solution. And that allows us to roll out in a very large scale a solution to purchasers, researchers, as well as suppliers in the life science research industry, while we can customize and basically satisfy some of very unique needs that we experience in some of the accounts we work with. So what does that mean? That means that suppliers, partners clearly have a new route to market. And on the other side of the platform, biopharma companies not only gain transparency on spend, and we help them aggregate their supplier base, we help them, establish very lean processes around invoicing and payment. We have a so-called one single creditor model rolled out now. So basically ordering from a few hundred or thousand suppliers through Sagino, but only receiving an invoice from Sagino instead of satisfying all of those hundreds of thousands of suppliers directly, is a very efficient method. From a researcher's perspective, in one case, a customer that we actually won during COVID-19 with over 1,000 lab scientists, they have estimated that they save around a week per scientist using Sagino. And at scale, that really matters.
The past few months have been difficult for those types of customers, large pharma and small biotechs alike, specifically in the supplier risk management and diversity area. Those have certainly become the spotlight among R&D procurement leaders. So to this, I ask, what do you think are the short and long-term impacts in life science as it relates to this supplier risk management? And how should procurement leaders anticipate and prepare for this?
Excellent question. On one side, we have data that supports that the longer the long tail of suppliers is for a certain biopharma company, the more innovative this company in fact is. Having said that, we live in a time of a pandemic, and so obviously supply is at risk. Now, being the head of purchasing in such a large entity, you want to deal with, on one side, enable scientists to do what they're best at, drive research, be innovative, potentially find vaccine against COVID-19, just as one example. On the other hand, you have all of those accountabilities around securing the supply chain. And I just feel it's not appropriate to just not give access to researchers to long tail suppliers. So in fact, what we do is we can aggregate this for you. And on the other side, we, by the way, doing that, enable the suppliers to directly sell through the platform to those purchasers and meet about their very unique needs. Having said that, because we're not a supplier solution or distribution solution, we basically help you find the product that you need, and we source it from various suppliers. We in fact by now have by far the largest catalog in this industry with over 20 million SKUs and more than 3,500 suppliers.
And as we wrap up, I just want to ask, for those people unable to attend this event and attend your session specifically, what is your best tip for procurement leaders, in particular with respect to digitization of the marketplace?
Clearly, do not accept anything less than the innovation we have seen in B2C. I personally feel we're just at the beginning in the life science research industry. And obviously, I would be amazed to see all of you at the event where I will speak to how Sagino will benefit life science researchers, suppliers, and purchasers on Tuesday, August 4th.
Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you at the event.
Enter Sagino.